this.
And that's how we're starting.
That's how the recording started.
Absolutely hate this already.
That is how.
Okay, so
That's scary.
we have our D&D group here, and I'm gonna go around and we're gonna introduce ourselves, and then explain to us basically what their character is. This is early enough in this campaign that we're starting here. I'm going to do a short recap. We're doing kind of a partial narrative part for the campaign for an epic game. And so we're playing the game, but we're not doing the combat until we get to like 18 or 19 when we start with the actual campaign. So this is Paul.
Hello, the name's Paul Underley. I am currently playing the wizard in the party.
That's also, I don't care about your last name.
No one does.
You're just Paul.
Yeah. I happen to like my last name. Thank you very much.
King Beleated.
Okay, never put your actual identity on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the cardinal rule.
That's the
I am
first
playing
rule.
the wizard named Zordlon.
Which no one calls him that.
No one cares.
Because if you start your name with a Z, everyone hates you.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. Because I never started my character with a Z before. Either way,
Welcome to it.
elf conjuration wizard.
He's got that douchebag teleport thing that no one likes.
That
Everyone loves.
takes. Everybody loves, but the
everyone-
DM.
It seems to
an
make
amazing
everything
ability.
fall.
You know what? That teleport thing's gonna get him dead. It's gonna be amazing. Okay.
No, it'll just get me hurt very badly once.
Okay, so the next guy is Matthew.
Hi. Yeah, my name's Matthew. My character, I play a Factorum. His name's Vorik, by the way.
And if you don't know what that is, it's a fake class in a book that no one uses. So just so you know.
It's a real class.
That
It's
fakes
basically an alternate bard that can fake abilities of other classes as he gains power. It's a very supportish character.
Basically, he's Peter Pan. He thinks
I
that he
can't
can
fly
do
yet.
something, and then he
I
can
like
do
I think
it.
I can. He's the little train that could. I think I can. I think I can.
I'd say
Dude, have you seen the GIF of where they had the full size Thomas the Tank Engine, and they had a black bag over his head on the freeway on one of those big rigs? It's like, oh no, it's getting away. Okay, so next we have is Alex.
I'm Alex. I'm playing a human monk. Dren, I think, is the name, working title.
And he's special because he doesn't gain his key points like in Pathfinder like normal.
Chi,
Key, whatever. He has to actually kill other students of the same style that he is, and like gain their powers by like Highlander-ish style.
Gently the one.
So that's how we're doing it with him.
And you're not a gently the one.
The movie, you didn't
You
see
haven't
the
seen
one?
that one? Oh, gently the one. Yeah, that.
Okay. So
I heard gently the one. I was imagining like a fist with lube.
Now I need that.
oh, he's just gonna pet your hair gently. Okay, so the next douchebag in the group here is
And you're not
Nicholas. He's also known as Argulily, the angriest flower in the garden.
I will kill you and everything you love. Angriest pansy.
I like that the flower tried
not
not to be
to
a
be a
pansy.
Oh,
I'm wondering.
the maniacal laughter from the hallway.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
Yes.
if that picked up. 'cause that was
I
like
want to
perfect.
harm everything.
Okay, so what do you play?
Paladin.
Very appropriate. Okay.
Paladin of Payload.
One of his special things is instead of like curing curses and poisons, he can try to eat it, like in the Green Mile. That's the right movie.
John
for that.
Coffey.
Yeah.
Mile, yes.
But it doesn't always work right, so sometimes he gets a little indigestion.
Or dead.
Indigestion in cases of botulism is what you mean.
Okay.
Also, as a added little note, if Nick doesn't die at least twice a game, it's not a game. It's just
And then we have Brian, which people are going to call Rios because he just joined our gaming group because he moved from another place that we will not speak of. And what do you play?
shall not be named.
well, I'm
Just a
Rio,
trailer
and I
park.
play a Inquisitor of Bacab.
Now, he was a cleric of Bacab, then he was a paladin of Bacab, and then he realized, what the classes actually do and read some of the book and decided on Inquisitor. This was also...
Inquisitor was partially decided on for me because we did lose somebody.
Yeah, we had a rogue, actually it was like a spell thief, named Ben, but unfortunately he had
Matters out of our control.
He
He's not
moved
with
just
us.
as far away.
he had emergency money surgery in another state. So, Okay, so
Emergency money surgery.
Cut him open, shove it in.
So I picked up Inquisitor to
That's how you fix
be,
AIDS. You just
so
shove
we have
$100,000 in the
a
bloodstream.
rogue-ish class that takes
Cure it,
not take
cause
its
it.
place, but be able to still function.
No.
with
So
it.
that would be a lot of cocaine.
Okay, so I need someone to recap the entirety of the campaign in about 5 to 10 minutes.
I guess.
Things and stuff!
Done.
Again.
Well,
We did not meet in a tavern, which is good. It's apparently kind of rare.
Yeah, you met outside of, I believe it was the temple to an evil god.
Some of us.
except for me.
We met arguably there. Yes. Random adventuring, or random people, character background, we all got together. Outside said evil temple. Went in, raided, looted, kind of left, got jumped by a bunch of bandits, to which our paladin, to save our party, offered up a rather exceptional amount of gold.
So basically what happened is they were pretty beat up from the actual fight with the cleric that was in there. And they got waylaid by bandits, and the bandits were like, hey, give us all your shit. And the paladin's like, how about I give you this note that says we'll pay you a bunch of money later? And the church will back it up. And they're like, okay. And that went out pretty well for them.
Oh,
for
yeah.
a little bit.
Because we got back to town, we apprised the church of the situation, and like, okay, well, you can work it off. Well, here, there's this supposedly abandoned wizard's tower we'd like you to investigate, quote unquote.
So they go to loot the wizard tower. And,
Never go to an illusionist's home.
Never, ever, ever.
And while they screwed around in there, the bandits came back and they
what did he say
collected.
about touching the table? And you just smack something right on the table.
It's gonna happen. Just
It was
try to
a pen.
avoid it.
I don't even know, right?
Basically, while they were gone, the bandits came and they collected on the debt, and then they went to another town and hired a bunch of sellswords, and they came over and took over. So basically, they're running the town now, while they're out in running the dungeon.
We did not know that when we got back.
Now, what happened in the tower?
I
Gold bugs.
hate everything.
Yeah, gold bucks.
Okay, so if you don't know what gold bugs are
The
little,
revenge.
little magical creatures that look like coins that during the night they skitter around like beetles and eat other coins and lay little coin babies. So after a while you have a bunch of money, but they're not actually money, they're little gold bugs going around and stealing all your food.
And
By food I mean metal.
and destroy the economy.
Oh, did I mention they also went to the main town hub and started spending their money with every good institution that they could get their hands on? Mainly the churches, the bank, and the people that sell items. And,
We're enemies of order.
oh, it was amazing.
I missed all.
After having fun
Enemy of order.
in the illusion tower, before we wrecked the economy in the area, we managed to pick up our rogue, who eventually left. We discovered that we hate illusionists with passion. We also
His
picked
gym
up...
clothes are really nice, though.
Yes, we picked up a rather nice set of wizardly gym clothes.
Keep those. Because I'm a main.
After they got back into the town, they basically had to deal with the fact that the bandits were legally in charge, and there's not a whole lot they could do about it because of the way the town statutes were. You could actually, at that time, you could challenge the mayor to
It's the
combat,
frontier.
and if you won, you became the mayor. It was like, what? And then he changed the law so you couldn't do that anymore. So they're kind of like, ooh. So they pass through, they go to the main town hub, and they find out about this other place that has a vampire issue, and the church is giving them the quest to go do that.
To pay off more of our debt.
So, what'd you do with the vampires?
Yeah, we came, we saw, we got our asses kicked.
No, we won. It's all good.
I
And,
think
Got bored and left.
This is when we put Rios into the game, and
The first thing Alex did was light my face on fire with a punch.
which was completely justified because the next thing Rios did was accidentally murder an innocent woman.
No, it wasn't the next
We
thing
had
he
to save
did.
her first.
He had to save her first, and then he killed her.
Okay,
And
By mistake.
okay,
By
hang
mistake.
on. The order of
By
operations.
mistake, how many times?
The order of operations is we went to the village, tried to camp, failed at camping because there was screams. The paladin and the monk went charging off into the night while the wizard cried like a small child.
Planning.
Okay.
The Factorum had to thump him over the head until he gained common sense and followed the Paladin, at which point we were jumped by vampire spawn, which we managed to beat, and the wizard whimpered some more.
Managed to beat them.
I fought some.
Your sword doesn't.
We had
hurt
the
them.
silver.
Yeah.
He can hit hard enough
I
to
had a
actually...
silver freaking fork that was killing him.
You know,
My silver dagger, yes.
he was hitting them hard enough to cause damage, but you were like, I stabbed you with a fork and do about as much lasting damage as you did, Nick.
Yeah, well, you know what? You were cheating.
Cheat to win.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay,
And
so...
then we followed them to a hole in the ground.
On the
which
way
we-
to the hole,
And in an ill-advised, we went into the hole.
on the way to the hole, I was walking through. Originally I was supposed to just be a commoner, but while I got my class sheet ready, but I just kind of rolled with it. I got punched in the face by Alex randomly with my face on fire.
As I remember, it was a provoked punch.
I was standing there.
Provoked.
I think he said hello. I think that's
Obviously,
what caused it.
greetings equal provocation for
Greetings after vampire
And you should
attacks
all
usually are
remember
provocation.
this.
I didn't even say it. I turned and got punched.
Okay, so
Oh, hi! Blah!
You should be happy it wasn't acid.
they managed to defeat the
Fire.
two lackeys and then ended up staking them, and they saved the woman that they had captured.
After I backstabbed.
And they
Oh,
went
that
in to
was
go
it.
after the master vampire, while the commoner was supposed to take the unconscious woman up the rope out of the hole.
No, you're forgetting about the panic bash her head in while she was still in the coffin.
There was that, and I had to resurrect her, yes, because I have a little unique ability that causes me to...
Yeah, so the factor... I'm giving everyone like some special abilities in this game, which will build based on how well they RP and whether they take negatives appropriately and stuff. And the Factorum's Matthew's ability is he can bring back to life people who recently departed, but it takes a heavy toll. He takes basically temporary hit point damage that can only be healed naturally. It's not like temporary as in subdural damage. It's like kind of like the permanent hit point damage, but he can heal it with bed rest, just not through magical healing. So he did that to get her back to life. And then they had the commoner try to take him out of the hole, except for he's really bad at climbing
Was
Or anything.
and holding on to things at the same time. So he dropped her at 5 feet, and he dropped her at 15 feet, and then he dropped her at 30 feet. And then he went back down and got her.
No, and then I made it all the way up, said, yeah, and dropped her all the way back down.
You would have done less damage to her with a battle axe.
So basically, she cratered 4 times and then died. And he was like, oops.
Wasn't she dead after the second or the third?
Third one, yeah. So
he proceeded to drop her again anyways, just for fun.
after all of that was
Bitch.
taken care of, and the whole thing with the undead treant thing, they took her back to town and they had her rezzed. But they did it as the commoner owing them money, so he was indentured to them. And then during that time, we had him train with the Temple of Pakak, become an Inquisitor, so he actually has a class level because he's going to be a real party member rather than just be a commoner. But that's how he started in the party.
We then had to kick
It
around
wasn't
waiting
supposed to be a
for
permanent
the
character.
If you were a commoner,
Apothic-
how did we punch
cleric
you in
to
the
show
face,
up.
not explode your brain?
He was a level 5 commoner.
He was a sturdy commoner.
With
Still
your
killing.
stats. Your guys' stats. Oh, also, Alex trained the man who was going to kill him while he was in the town.
Damn right.
Some little, like, 5-year-old kid. He taught how to kung fu, and he was really good at it.
And he
I-
immediately
Hey,
killed another
if
kid.
nobody else can kill you, train someone to do it.
Okay. So, they get back to town. The rogue Ben, who is no longer with the party anymore, no whistling. I don't care who it was. Never whistle ever again. I will
Yeah, that
destroy
might-
you and all that you exist.
That might
All that
be-
you exist.
All
Yes.
that I exist!
Ah!
Not all that I love, but all that I exist.
Okay, so,
I
He
think
doesn't care what you love.
it's a very
we
small...
got back to town.
It really is. What is it?
Ben did
4
a-
items long?
A little
Anger.
side quest. And he did that to get his, basically his advanced training as a rogue. He had to do a job for the guild.
Somehow paladin.
He ended up stealing a high-level wizard book, and Paul ended up being blamed for the theft because he had come into contact with the wizard who owned it, and that person gave him some
Oh,
information
you had
and asked him if he wanted to come,
He wanted
basically
that booty.
come back and
I did.
pick up some spells from him. And he declined because
Spells.
he really doesn't like booty blasting, but unfortunately he was the only person with a copy of the key, so he was the first suspect. So there's this whole thing with him being arrested
Oh,
and questioned
blasted.
and having to escape from jail, go to another town.
Which, by the way, when we needed to figure out who actually stole the book, the paladin asked the rogue to try and find them because he was a resourceful individual.
So
The paladin trusted the rogue to find himself.
basically, Ben was in charge of his own investigation. He was the dirtiest cop in the world.
And he didn't lie once.
No, he's just a congressional investigation committee of one.
He's really, really good at
Yeah,
that. So,
he didn't lie once.
now-
His spellbook was invisible, and he said, "I've never seen it," and it was found as a complete truth.
Now, in this town that they were in, magical testimony is not admissible. So they had to break out of jail, bring him to another town where magical testimony is admissible, use a zone of truth, and then, tell them what happened.
The paladin was not privy to that plan because paladins are like, you're going to break out of jail? I'm sorry. I'll be in the mayor's office, tattling.
Okay, so after that whole debacle's
What?
over,
That's what you're supposed to do.
they end up going back to the little town that had the vampire issue. And what's happened there since then?
It's become a zone of undeath and decay.
Okay, so what the vampire did while he was there, he put some weird chemicals in the well that was in town, and it started releasing this fog that was killing everything and turning it into some kind of undead thing. And that was expanding.
Well, as far as the
expanding,
druid's
expanding.
concerned, he turned it into Auschwitz for trees.
Yeah, it's basically Auschwitz for trees.
Auschwitz.
And they're in the process of trying to figure out what exactly is causing it.
Pretty
It's
sure.
not a curse.
They brought a priest, and the priest is like, well, this isn't a curse. And then they found an alchemist, and the alchemist is like, I need samples. And then, two of them almost dropped dead getting samples,
One of them dead.
which was awesome. And now they're waiting on that. And while they're waiting on that, they're going through a tomb for another wizard that they've recently uncovered to try to get some dollars. And that is a slightly modified version of Grimtooth's Dungeon of Doom. So if you're familiar with that or whatever, you'll know some of the traps that they're going to be dealing with. We're not going to go through how far they're in so far, but we are going to pick up right where we are.
Fucking rock tumbler.
Which, yes, it's right after Trap 28A, just what every Delver needs, a little polish, which is basically, like a giant tumbler. It was amazing, full of crystal shards because they broke the statues. But
It would have been broken
you
anyway.
guys have already bypassed that trap. You've gotten out. The monk is not dead, and the paladin finally got lassoed out. And you're confronted with, yes, you have lost your greatsword because you used that to gum up the gears.
Mm-hmm.
I saved people.
You're confronted by a T
I was
intersection.
sleeping, but I saved-
To the left and to the right are 10-foot wide doors.
Last time I dealt with doors, I got dropped into a rock polisher. Fuck all of you. You're going first.
Same 3 holes on each door.
Stand by, I will tell you.
That doesn't translate well on
To the
mic.
surface?
That doesn't translate well on mic.
We play nose goes to see who goes first. This time it's Matt.
I said I'm grabbing Luke. Go to the surface. Later, guys.
So do you guys want to head back and drop off all the stuff upstairs?
What did we wind up getting?
I don't know. What'd you
A
guys get?
whole
I was
bunch
asleep for this.
of adamantite darts.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me about
You know
all
the
darts.
the holes that they use
They're
to activate
yeah.
to unlock the doors.
They were all shooting adamantite.
Yeah, the first couple is just cut off a finger if you have the wrong one. But these ones you'll push any of them in, and
Yeah, I
adamantine
remember
darts
that.
shoot out.
Okay,
Okay,
by
so
adamantite dart, we mean 3-foot-long tipped poles.
they're basically lawn darts. So if you've ever seen lawn darts, yeah. Okay, so as you're going back into room 3, where that non-detection coffin is, you notice that the frescoes are starting to flake off, and you notice there are 2 more doors in that room, one to the left and one to the right.
Son of a bitch.
So we have 3 ways to go now.
4.
Finish the way we're going.
Because you can go left from room 55,
Oh, yeah, we have
or
the left
right,
and right.
to room 55. Or in room 3, which is where you're at now, you can go left or right.
Finish the way we were heading first. Explore all possibilities, and then move on. That way you don't have to backtrack.
We have to backtrack, though. We didn't explore all the possibilities in this room.
We didn't realize they were here.
We do now. Therefore, going on means you have to backtrack.
Finish exploring every area that you can, and then continue on. Otherwise, you might leave stuff.
Okay, so the fresco room? That's the starting point?
Okay.
We've already gone through.
So, just to clarify, east is going to be to the right, and west is going to be to the left.